Hi friends, welcome back to Reimagining Our Faith. Today is one more devotion on celebrating discipline. So Proverbs 13 verse 20 and 21 read, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Trouble pursues the sinner, but the righteous are rewarded with good things." As we've learned from Proverbs about wisdom and recently about discipline, one more thought comes to mind from these verses. Becoming wise by using discipline involves making moral and ethical decisions now, not at some point in the future. All through Proverbs, we read that according to God's wisdom, discipline means making our decisions in advance. So basically, God's wisdom says that if we want to walk with the wise and avoid temptations and sins, then we need to decide ahead of time what our behavior will be. Because if we let ourselves get into situations where temptation is staring us in the face, it is much more difficult then to say no. The point here is that few people are truly strong enough to make the right decisions when temptation is right in front of us. What we usually discover is that our good judgment wavers when pressure comes on strong and fast in our lives. But discipline, God's wisdom, involves making our moral and spiritual and ethical decisions in advance, so that when we're faced with certain situations, our decisions have already been made. God has given us this remarkable tool called discipline. And discipline is God's gift to us. We are not forced to use it, but if we seek discipline and we walk with the wise, then according to Proverbs, the discipline that we have is the power to transform our lives. And then there's no telling where we can go, or what we can achieve, or who we can become. In his book, Celebration of Discipline, Richard Foster writes these words. He says, "Superficiality is the curse of our age. The doctrine of instant satisfaction is a primary spiritual problem. The desperate need today is not for a greater number of intelligent people," he says, "or even gifted people, but for deep, disciplined people." So today, let's remember his words, and let's remember these words from Proverbs, and let's walk with the wise, using discipline to help us make our decisions and allowing God to help us reimagine our faith.